And good morning, Port Jervis, and welcome to the Port Connects podcast. My name is Andrew Murata, host of the podcast, and excited for another podcast here live in Port Jervis schools and live with incredible kids. We have amazing staff and kids here in Port Jervis, and here is the president of the sixth grade class, Port Jervis Middle School, Tyler Trovei. Good morning, Tyler.
Good morning, Mr. Rada.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
It's nice to have you
exciting.
on the podcast. It is excited, and I'm excited to talk with Tyler. Before we get to the show, just a couple of announcements. What a beautiful week. Fall is here. The school year is moving on here. We do have the grand reopening of Gwinnett Field. That's going to be tomorrow night, 7 p.m. It's senior night. There's a lot of festivities beforehand. So there will be a ribbon cutting at somewhere between 6:15 and 6:30, 6:45, somewhere there with the senior night activity. So before the game, that's happening tomorrow night, the grand reopening Gwinnett Field here in Port Jervis schools. But let's get to the podcast. Again, sixth grader Tyler Trovei. A number of people watching live. Jump in and say hello. We already have some people saying hello and good morning to you. So please jump in. Let us know where you're watching from. I know there's a bunch of middle schoolers watching as well. They're proud of you. So welcome, Tyler. Let's start with you. Sixth grade, brand new middle school, brand new kind of first year of the sixth grade in the middle school. How's it all going for you?
I like middle school. I like switching classes. I see all my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I have I'm switching subjects every every 41 minutes. So it's it's just fun and exciting.
Does it make the day go faster?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah, and our elementary teachers are incredible. They really support the kids. I've watched them take care of the. Do you feel like that you're kind of out and about now with different adults, different people? How does the support feel differently at this level?
Well, you have different a lot of different teachers, and they're all have a life lesson they give you, and you just have more support than having one teacher. And it's nice having a couple different teachers, because you could one style teaching a lot and not the style teaching not a lot.
Yeah. And so what is a style that works for you? Miss Wiley's watching, one of your teachers now. Grandpa is watching, Dad's watching, a lot of people tuning in. Thanks everyone for tuning in. What's your style, Tyler? How do you like to learn best?
I enjoy fun learning. I like when you
not the unfun learning. You like the fun learning.
Yeah, I like fun
Me
learning,
too.
because then kids want to learn. They want to come back to school, and if it's not fun, then you don't want to come back. And I see that in a lot of kids.
Yeah. How does a teacher make it fun for you?
Videos and stuff like that. We could be doing notes, and she'd be throwing in Gen Z slang and stuff like that. And she'd just be funny. She'd make funny jokes along the way, or
things that kids your age would understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just funny.
Now, you have a connection with Mr. Canellis back at East Maine now. You're a former ASK, and he taught math.
Yes, I love
math. Math is hard, Tyler. How is math your favorite subject? How is that?
I always just found an understanding to math, and I don't know what it was, but I always liked math. It's kind of simple for me.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. It seems like you really know yourself, Tyler. You know what you like. You know the kind of learning you like. Mm-hmm. What is something you've learned here in middle school? It's almost November. We got Halloween coming up. Mm-hmm. 2 months in middle school. What's something you've learned?
I've learned that you can't fool around too much. School's gotta be fun, but you can't be hanging out in the hallways and not get into your classes. You can't hang out in your lockers and stuff like that. And if you're late to class, you have to be on time. It's a big responsibility. There's just a lot more responsibilities that opened up when you come to middle school.
And teachers holding you accountable, right? They're telling you where you need to be and get there. So they're on top of you?
Yes. You need to know what to bring, what to do. They give you a set of directions and you have to do them. Yeah.
Tyler, with all those different teachers and this teacher telling you this and this teacher telling you that, how do you organize yourself? How do you manage, instead of just one teacher guiding you all day, you have now a kind of bunch of chefs in the kitchen. How do you organize all that?
Well, usually, like, I have like everything separated out of my binder, and I have like my book club book like up in the top of my binder, and like all my math stuff in one section. But I mostly do it by like if they tell me to bring something, I like remember it the next night. Like I go in Google Classroom, see, just make sure what the homework was, and yeah, and
Wow.
it's like kind of just gotta check on things, you know.
Take care of your stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. Again, a number of people tuning in. Miss Marion, again, Grandpa's watching there. Rachel Friedlander, you know who that is?
Mhm.
Yeah, who's that?
She is my aunt.
Oh, hello, Miss Rachel. Thanks for tuning in. Tyler, you and I got to spend a lot of time a couple weeks ago. It was the Hall of Fame weekend.
Yes.
And I had met you when you were at ASK, but I hadn't made the connection of all these family members, a number of Hall of Famers. Your grandpa is in the Hall of Fame. Your aunt, Gay Trovei, in the Hall of Fame. And your great-grandfather, Lum Trovei, was being inducted. What was that like for you? Your dad, Stephen Trovei, was here. Your Aunt Margot was here. What was that like for you to be around family, but be mixed into school with all this Port Pride, all this nice stuff being said about your great-granddad? What was that like for you?
I like supporting my family while also supporting Port Pride because, like, on the football field, they were able to get we were all able to represent our family, and I remember Ron Cimarero was able to flip the coin for the coin toss.
They were announcing your great-granddad. He was on the big screen. You got to walk out.
Yeah.
Had you met Lum? Did you ever get to meet him?
No, I've heard many great stories about his jokes and how good a trumpet he was.
Yeah, an entertainer.
Yes.
Right? You just talked about making school fun. Ooh, what happened here? Where did it go? I hope we came back. We lost the screen for a second. Let's see. Technical difficulty. What'd you say about technology this morning?
It's kind of like it's like a
blessing and a curse.
You know? You have to use it carefully.
Let's read. Okay, we're back. We're back. We lost you a second. Miss Wiley, maybe you could write in the chat that we can you can see us and hear us again. Sorry about that, technical difficulties, but it looks like we're back here. The screen went black for a second. Yes.
Hi, Eli.
Good. All right, give us a thumbs up in the chat that you can see us and hear us. We lost our screen for a moment. Thanks for staying with us, Tyler.
Yeah.
There we go. Good. Thank you, Rachel. So, Tyler, back to your great-granddad. What was something you heard about him or you learned about him over the weekend that you were like, whoa?
Well, I learned about that when I see my friend Lenny play trumpet. It's usually like straight out, but he used to play it like this, you know? And like, how do you manage to do that? And I didn't know like all these jokes he told, you know? Yeah. About the zoo and stuff like that.
And you were just in band right now. I took you out of band class. Shout out to Miss Carreri. I believe that class is watching.
Yes.
So when you are in band, are you playing the trumpet?
No, I'm playing the saxophone.
Okay. Do you feel like, wow, this was in my family? This was something that was real big in my family. Do you feel like a connection there with music?
Yeah, music is always something that's been like in my family. You know, my dad was in a band with the guitar. He knows how to play piano. I played saxophone. I know how to play piano, and my great grandpa played so many instruments.
Everything. Yeah. And your Aunt Gay was able to get the video of Lum playing. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then even Mr. Semirano said that Lum played at his wedding. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah,
it was pretty
I didn't
cool.
even know that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And your granddad, Art Trovei, gave a beautiful speech. Very emotional to watch him talk about his dad.
Yeah.
But it was really support pride in action. And this was almost 100 years ago for you. You know,
Yeah.
Lum being in school, a veteran as well. So looking back at the weekend, Tyler, did it make you want to do more? Did it make you want to be a better student and be, more connected to school?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of my family go into the Hall of Fame and friends of mine. So it's like I want to be in there too, I like inspiring people and being a leader.
Yeah. You're the sixth grade president right now.
Yeah.
Was that something that you were thinking about doing? Is that something that you had a goal to say, like, hey, I'm going to get involved here?
Yeah, last year in 5th grade, I was kind of worried that they wouldn't have class officers or student council because I wasn't going to be in 6th grade elementary school. I was going to be, if I was in 6th grade elementary school, I would have been the top of elementary school, but now I'm the bottom of middle school. So
You're not the bottom. You're in
Right.
sixth grade. You're not the bottom.
well,
So you're just getting
in terms
started.
of age level.
That's right. That's right.
But I didn't think it was going to be like a thing. So I was like, oh, I could do this, They actually had like flyers in the hallway, and I was like, oh wow, this is pretty cool. I want to do this.
Did you have to give a speech?
Yes,
How'd that go?
it went pretty good.
Over the loudspeaker?
No, it was recorded.
Recorded.
And then in our enrichment period, we all had a video played of all the speeches.
And how did you feel that your speech did? When you saw it, were you like, okay, I sounded good, looked good?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. What were some of your messages here? What was some of your in your speech? What were some things you said you were going to do in terms of your leadership?
Well, I wanted to bring like educational field trips, so kids could have fun while being educated. I wanted to have like a box where you like put suggestions in it, and then like or recommendations.
I like that.
And then I wanted to go outside because like fresh air is good for you, sunlight's good for you. Like it just helps you out, I think it's vitamin D for sun.
Yeah. So you talked about getting the kids outside?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where high school has this beautiful courtyard.
Yeah.
The middle school also has a courtyard. I know they're working on figuring out how to use that.
Yeah.
Very cool. Were you nervous about the election? Were you kind of like, I know kids won't go out for teams and kids won't do things because they're afraid they're not going to make it, or they're afraid in wrestling they're going to get pinned. Were you afraid maybe you wouldn't win?
Yeah, I was afraid. I like doing what I think is best for the school. I like helping out. I wish I would. I mean, congratulations to all the other candidates, and they worked really hard. But like, if like they won, I wouldn't be that upset.
Sure.
But it would be nice if I won. I'd like to be like inspiring
and you got to be in it to win it. So you
Yes.
did it. You did win. Sixth grade class president here. So congratulations, Tyler. Also, you're involved in a lot of other things in school. Again, music, but you're involved with Vex Robotics. That's huge.
Yeah.
An amazing group of kids there. Wrestling, too, is a big part of your life. Let's start with Vex. Talk to me about why you like that.
Well, I've always liked technology, and I love robots especially. So when I learned that I could actually build a robot, I was like, wow, this is so cool,
Yeah.
And then I went home and I was like telling my mom and dad, and they were like, man, I didn't have these type of clubs. Like, I would love to do this.
Yeah. Have you seen the arena? Have you seen all of that stuff?
Yes,
Cool.
I've seen, not like the full arena, though. I've seen like the ladder we have to climb and like the stakes we have to put rings on. So
Okay.
yeah.
And is there some competitions coming up?
Yeah, I think November 9th.
Okay. Very cool. I know Mr. Olenek, Mr. Hysiak, Mr. Higgins involved. Very cool. That has grown, Tyler, and we're thrilled that kids like you are doing that activity. There's a lot of creativity and opportunity out there. So wrestling too. Wrestling's a big part of your life. You were what was it called? King of the Mountain or King of the County last year. Talk to me about wrestling.
I love wrestling. I did it in first grade once, and I got my butt kicked. So I'm like, I don't really want to do this anymore, And then I don't know how or why, but I decided to go back into wrestling in 4th grade, and I started like really putting in the time and practice to do it, and then I got pretty good. I went undefeated that year.
Wow.
Yeah, and then this year or last year, I was in 5th grade, I worked hard. I heard about this King of the County thing where you have to win 3 tournaments in a row
Wow.
to win King of the County.
Okay.
And I worked really hard with my grandpa, after practice, or I'd go to his house and wrestle on the mats, But yeah, wrestling is a thing where it teaches me life lessons, but I have fun while doing it,
A lot of lessons there in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about some of those lessons. It's you and your opponent. Everyone else is off the mat. It's just you and that other person.
Yeah.
What are some lessons you've learned from wrestling?
Be determined, never give up. Always be hardworking.
Mm-hmm.
Never give up because you never know what could happen in the end,
Tyler, it's very physical. I mean, as high school principal, I was trying not to have boys. I don't want to use the F word, but they're fighting, right? They're in a combat. They're in a battle together. And as the principal, I didn't want that during the day. But then after school, here's this violent physical combat. How do you deal with the physicality of wrestling?
Again, you gotta be tough. You can't like run away from the mat and because you got hurt or something.
Yeah.
Sometimes you will get hurt seriously, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of rules in wrestling that try and make it safe. So it's a tough thing to deal with at first when you're first doing wrestling because you're not used to the physicality at first because I was just doing swimming at the time,
Yeah.
It's I'm in the water, no one's hitting me.
Yeah, the water's nice
pushing
and
into me.
soft. Yeah.
So it was a little wonky at the time, at first.
Tyler, what if I'm afraid, right? And I played basketball. If the guy hit me, they called a foul.
Yeah.
Wrestling, what if I was afraid of the contact? How do you deal with the fear of this guy beating me or this guy, embarrassing me or this guy knocking me out? How do you deal with that?
So in wrestling, you can't hit anybody, if you're slapping or you can't do any of that.
There's some of that when you're starting though, right?
Yes,
when they're kind of grab. I see those guys.
Yeah.
Okay. But you can't hit them. It's not boxing.
No. So, basketball, you can't hit anybody, but wrestling, you can grab a leg, and take him down the mat depending on what style you're doing. I do folk style. You're not allowed to throw anybody on the mat, pick them over your head and then drop them down.
It's not WWF.
No.
Okay.
Unless
You're not jumping from the top ring and
no.
Okay. All right.
But with the physicality, and the mental, it's all a mental game. Half of it's the skill and half of it's the mental battle. And I struggle with that a little bit. Sometimes I was scared last year that I was gonna get beat and I wouldn't get King of the County.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember this one match, I was really upset, and that really affected my wrestling there. And yeah, it's all mental game and then physical. If you get taken down, sometimes I was pretty upset, but sometimes you usually just have to push through it, try and get back up and then take him down.
I love to hear. How old are you? 12? 13?
11.
11. This guy, 11 years old, and he's talking about the mental game. So how do you coach your brain? How do you could go in the weight room, Tyler, you could do push-ups, that's all your physical, but how do you coach your brain to say, hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna beat this guy. I'm gonna do this move. What do you tell yourself going into those matches?
I usually look at what moves I've been practicing, and what moves I'm good at and what I'm gonna use. And I gotta think I'm gonna win, or else the chances are I'm gonna do worse. And every match before every match, I always listen to music to calm my brain down. Yeah.
Cool. What kind of music?
I'm
Lum on the trumpet?
No,
I'm just kidding.
It's it's 80s to 2020.
Yeah.
It's a big range.
Shout out to your dad teaching you those 80s, those 80s tunes, Steven. Good job.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Again, Tyler, we spoke off air about the podcast inspiring other people. That's really inspiring to hear an 11-year-old to talk about the mental strength and the mental speaking to himself to do what I'm good at, right? You're training, these moves and you're going to do them. And then you visualize yourself doing them, and then you can go out and perform. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So you'll do club wrestling this year, is that right?
Yes.
With the youth club?
Yeah, because modified 7 and 8.
Yeah. So next year you'll be on the modified wrestling team.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I wish I could be on it now, but
Yeah.
it's a New York State law.
Your time will come, young man.
Yeah.
Your time will come. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Please, if you're in the watching live, jump in the chat. The Sadagianis are watching. Amir Sadagiani. They were at the awards assembly as well. Mrs. Sadagiani, board member. Very cool. Tyler, let's go back to school. You talked about math. What are some other parts of the day? What are some other subjects that you enjoy, that you look forward to? Maybe something fun a teacher does, things like that.
I look forward to seeing Miss Delato in her science class. She makes everything fun and exciting. Like she's just never not like boring. She's always up there in the exciting.
I love it.
Yeah, she's always energetic.
Shout out to Miss Delato. Tyler, we spoke too off air about cell phones.
Yes.
The kids and cell phones and how they manage them. You got yours last year. So as a sixth grader now, what are some things that you've learned, how to appropriately use the phone, and maybe things that, that's not good, I shouldn't do that with the phone? What are some things that you've learned about using the phone?
Well, one thing is if you're sending a text to somebody, if you delete it, you can't, it's not actually deleted. It's there forever.
Forever.
You have a footprint online, and it's you kind of it's like a blessing and a curse. I contact my mom, though I know there's some bad things on the phone. You can get addicted to it, and then you don't spend time with anybody anymore. You just want to be on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of sad how some people just use their phone inappropriately.
Yeah. And it's interesting to use the word addiction. We see it. The adults see. We see that, and it is challenging to watch. It's challenging to see. So, what are some positive things that you've learned about using the phone? What are some good habits that you've learned?
Well, contact. I talk with all these people pretty much. I'm always, my mom's where are you? It's a safety thing.
Mm-hmm.
She always knows where I am. I can always text my dad, mom, grandpa, aunt, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's a safety thing. You could learn a lot. I always go on YouTube and learn tutorial how to play something on piano, how to make paper football or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. The strategies on how to do these things are out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of you could learn anything in the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. That's good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyler, we spoke a little bit about balance, right? I got a little prop here, right? A little prop. So it's my new friend, a little bird here. And this bird is balancing on my finger, right? And you're a middle schooler, 11 years old. You have sports. You have your family. You have your presidential responsibilities. Whoa. You have free time. You have sports. You have all of these things. You have your creative side, the music. How do you balance it all? How do you manage all of those things and keep flying high?
Well, school is the head. It always comes first, Then I always strive to be number one, in school. I always make
academics.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Student first, athlete second. Yeah.
Yeah. And then on the left wing, it's sports, and then on the right wing, it's presidential, because that's pretty important to me. And then on the back, it's all my hobbies, solving a Rubik's Cube and stuff like that.
Wow. And then the family is all in the middle, right here. Yeah, everything in the middle here, your
middle.
Family and those closest to you. And that helps keep it balanced.
Yeah.
That was a great description. We didn't practice that.
No.
Yeah. What made you relate it to the wings and there? What made you do that?
I just think that thing is so cool.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Tyler, put your finger up. We're going to give it to you. This is yours now. And as a reminder to be balanced in your life, right? Whether you're 11 years old or old like me, or our teachers, our family members watching, This young man just gave a great description about. So I'm going to give that to you as a reminder. Okay.
Thank you.
Cool. Again, your family and friends watching. Tyler, anything I didn't ask you that you wanted to talk about?
No.
Okay. You a Penn State fan?
Yes.
Yeah. They're having a great season.
Yes. Yeah, their football team's doing pretty good, and I love the wrestling team.
Yes.
Two like locals from Menacing Valley, Zach Ryder and PJ Duke, are actually committed to Penn State for wrestling.
Menacing has 2 guys going to Penn State.
Yeah.
Wow. And we still kick their butts on the mats.
I don't know. I don't
We
know
hope.
if
We
yeah,
hope.
we hope so.
We hope. Yeah. Gonna
Yeah.
kick their butts in football tomorrow night. Yeah.
Yeah. I've wrestled with PJ Duke, and he is really tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. I didn't know that. That's incredible to sign with the Big Ten. Do you know about the Bannock brothers in Iowa? Do you know that history of
Yes.
Port Jervis wrestling?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought they were so cool. Like seeing them, like somebody around in our town, an Olympic champion, like 2 actually.
2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just crazy to me.
And Steve Bannock was elected into the Wrestling Hall of Fame this year. And the gym is called the Bannock Arena.
Yeah.
A lot of history with wrestling here in Port Jervis. Absolutely. And I love to hear that passion that you have. And, you mentioned those 2 young men from Minnesink and being around great athletes.
Yeah.
If you want to be great, you walk amongst the greats. You hang out with the greats, right? Show me your friends and I'll show you your future, are things that we've learned growing up here. So that's cool that you're associating yourself with great programs, great kids. Jamie Veldy says Zach Ryder's a great kid and has a great family. Yeah, that's beautiful there. Very cool. Tyler, we talked a lot about your passions, things you're doing here. What's a goal you have? What's a goal maybe by 8th grade, maybe by when you go to high school? What are some goals you have in the future?
By 8th grade, I hope to be a state champion in wrestling.
Whoa.
Yep.
Wow. I like that.
In college, if I do wrestling in college, I hope to be a national champion in wrestling.
You want to do that in college?
Mm-hmm.
How do you protect your ears? I see some of those guys got the damaged ears. Is that, you got to wear the helmet?
Yeah, it's called headgear. I always wear headgear.
You got good ears, man. You want to protect those. Is it hurt when the guy's jamming his head against yours? Does that hurt? It looks so painful.
Well, you can't really go side to side. You can sometimes depending on the position, but it's usually front to front. And sometimes that can hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. Why is it important that we have goals, Tyler? I think those are great goals you have. Why is that important?
Because then you strive to work harder to accomplish those goals. Like King of the County was one. I wanted to ski a double black diamond out in Utah. So yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You skied a double black diamond in Utah?
Yeah.
That's like miles in the air, like this steep. Like you did that?
Yeah.
I saw the picture on one of the things. So you're a skier too?
Yes.
Holy cow.
My aunt just mentioned that I also do a lot of 5Ks around.
Wow. You going to join the track team?
I was thinking about doing football though. So
football's in the fall. Track is in the spring.
Oh, I might do that.
Yeah. Cross country's in the fall too. But yeah. That's awesome. Wow. I didn't know you. I saw the picture of the skiing. I didn't know you were. That's big time skiing.
Yeah.
Wow. You got good goals, kid. You're going places.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for all the family and teachers and friends watching. This is Tyler Trovei, 6th grade president. Tyler, there's a lot of momentum around Port Jervis right now. These new buildings, you see the fields going out.
Yeah.
Got the new sod they laid down, the new turf. How does it feel to be around all of these exciting things for your future?
It's nice because I know that I'm probably going to be able to play on these. It's like I'm going to be able to use them, and it's going to be nicer fields and stuff like that, like turf.
Yeah.
That feels really nice. I was on the football field, and that's it feels amazing.
It was cool. It's almost like a little trampoline, right?
Yeah, almost.
A little soft there, yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool to be out there with those bright lights. Yeah. So how do you add to the momentum, Tyler? How do you, as a 6th grader, make Port Jervis better? How do you add to the Port pride that's going on?
Oh, I try and inspire kids, being a leader. I also try and get a lot of my friends to join the wrestling team, you know, and stuff like that. My friend Lenny and Owen are going to be joining the wrestling team, so that's nice.
Lenny and Owen, they're sixth graders?
Yeah.
You encouraged them to come out?
Yeah, they're in band right now.
Nice. Hopefully they're watching. Yeah, Miss Carreri tuning in. So you just gave a shout out, Miss Carreri, to a couple guys there. That's awesome. Yeah, bringing people, encouraging them to join things. That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this was fun, man.
Yeah.
What a great way to start the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a sparkle in your eye, kid. You ready? He's ready to go. I remember meeting you last year, and you said, "Hey, man, I'd like to come on the podcast." So here you are. You did fantastic. Yeah, look at that, Mrs. Pagano saying volunteering outside of school, also very important. A lot of opportunities here in Port Jervis to do that. Awesome, Tyler. This was great. Any last shout outs? You want to give any shout outs to your family or classmates or teachers?
Miss Delato, Miss Wiley, my cousin Brody and Riley.
Yeah.
All my aunts and uncles, they've all taught me something important, special.
Yeah.
Especially my mom, my dad, my grandma, my grandpa, and my nana and papa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really nice to meet them all at the Hall of Fame. I'd heard the Trovei name many times, but to meet them, and again, your granddad's speech there about Lum was really cool. Stephen, thanks for the comic books. Your dad's in the comic book business. Gave me my favorite comics as a kid. And that goes to listening, right? He asked me, what was your favorite comic? And then a couple of days later, I get the Thing comic books, right? It says a lot about people and what they do. So thank you for that, Mr. Trovei. So, Tyler, this was cool. One last question before we get to the ending here. You're only 11. You talked about wanting to wrestle, but down the road, do you know what you want to be when you grow up? I'm still trying to figure it out myself.
I'm pretty sure I want to be in the real estate, like not necessarily real estate agent, but just somewhere in real estate. You know,
housing, properties. Yeah.
It's like a big game of Monopoly.
It is, yeah, and there's a lot of opportunity there. That's cool. So do you see yourself going something related to real estate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Your Lum owned Trovei's and Sons business way back when, right?
Yes. Yeah. My great grandfather actually made it first, and they were like selling like washed rags. You know, they took rags and washed it, and there was scrap metal, and then we had like scrap metal, and then trucks and containers. Now my grandpa has the business.
Yeah, and to see again Lum with the passion of music, his impact on others, as well as then some business things, as well as his military service, all kind of leading towards again great things for his family, and very cool. So this was great, Tyler. Last question, and let's get rolling here. Oh, my friend Ken from Extreme Window Tinting's watching too. Kenny Glass. What does Port Pride mean to you?
Port Pride means to me like how good our community is, and like how like hard we work and how we support it, you know, and how we have a special community that might not be many others, you know. Like our community is something as I call special. You know, there's like no place like Port Jervis. You know, I could travel anywhere in the world, and there's no community like Port Jervis. Well
said. I agree. Representing Port Pride. This is Port Pride in action here. An 11-year-old, incredibly well-spoken, Tyler, incredibly well-prepared for the show. And this was truly an honor. You did a great job.
Thank you.
All right. Leave Tyler a positive comment here on the show. And thank you for everyone tuning in. And we do have a lot of positive momentum. And regardless of your role here in Port Jervis, whether you're a student, whether you are a teacher, whether you are a support service staff here, you help with the grounds, community members, family members, we all have a hand in Port Pride, and it is really evident, and it's just so nice to be around now. There's so much positive momentum, and it is a special community. So I know you got some stickers and swags in here that I know you will represent. There's a pin in here, things like that. So we appreciate you.
Yes.
All right. Leave Tyler a positive comment in the chat. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Grand reopening of Gwinnett Field we've gone through so much roll of grand opening tape. We've used those scissors so much. Chase Field was reopened. EME was opened. We just opened Cup of Joy for the middle school. The middle school itself reopened. So really, really cool. All the great things happening. So keep showing your Port Pride, friend, and we will see you out and about in the community. Tyler Trovei, everyone, 6th grade president. This was awesome. Thanks for all the shout outs, Troveis in the chat here. We got to get this guy to class. You going to where now? Social studies. What are you doing in social studies today?
We're learning about Mesopotamia.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have a hard time saying it.
Yeah, no, that was good pronunciation. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. Yeah. Cool. Who's your social studies teacher?
Miss Delaney and Miss Elston Mills.
She's your homeroom teacher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well, shout out to your social studies teachers. Let's roll. PJMS. Great young man here. You're doing a good job, Tyler. Can I get a go Port, Tyler?
Go Port.
Bam. See y'all.